Bluey is an amazing show. It's truly incredible to watch the little blue pup grow up. Did you know it's only a matter of time before the series gives us an episode showing her big graduation dance? Season 5. The next season of Bluey is Season 4, and everyone is anxiously waiting for its release. It's going to bring a lot of new things, especially because, unlike most kids' shows, the characters in this series actually age as time goes by. So just imagine what the Healer family will look like once Season 5 arrives. It's going to take quite a while for that to happen, and that's exactly why we believe that by the time Season 5 comes around, Bluey and her friends will be much older. We think they'll be around 13 years old, while Bingo and her classmates will be about 11. That means that starting with that season, the story will become much more serious and emotional, dealing with the challenges preteens face, puberty, responsibilities, plans for the future, and things like that. And that's exactly the context in which this special episode will take place. Get ready to find out how Bluey's prom episode story will unfold. The moment has come! Let's enjoy another Cinewave together! Prom night. Prom episodes are always a major milestone in teen shows, and it wouldn't be any different in Bluey. This event would probably happen at the end of Season 5 as a half-hour special, just like The Sign from Season 3, where Frisky gets married. Before that, the entire season would build toward this extremely important moment, and could even include related episodes, like one where Bluey searches for the perfect dress to wear to the event. It's also worth noting that this prom would most likely be for middle school graduation, not high school. That actually makes things even more intense, because it means Bluey has never been in a situation like this before, and doesn't yet have the maturity she would have at 17. One big conflict she'll face throughout the whole season is the struggle to find a date for the dance, which will make her more and more nervous as the big night approaches. And you can be sure things will get even worse once she realizes that almost all of her friends already have dates lined up, except for Mackenzie. Yep, Mackenzie will also have a hard time inviting someone, but his situation will be different. It's not that he doesn't know who he wants to go with. The problem is that he does know, but he's scared to ask. You can probably guess that Mackenzie will want to form a pair with Bluey, since he'll be totally smitten with her. This is something many fans expect to happen in the future, since the show has already hinted that these two little lovebirds, or better yet, puppies, might become a couple when they're older. That's not something that would happen while they're only 7 years old, because they're still way too young to think about dating. But at 13, that's exactly the age when most people experience their first crush, even if it's something silly and innocent. Captain and Mia, the older friends of Bluey and Mackenzie, are already 12 and clearly have a crush on each other, so the show itself already suggests that this is the age when kids start seeing their friends differently. The episode Barky Boats introduced Mia and Captain as two preteens in love, and it was also the episode that gave strong hints that the blue pup and her border collie friend might fall for each other in the future, especially because the scene where Calypso talks about her older students' crushes also seems to be talking about them, two friends who will start feeling something new for each other once they get a bit older. If you also think these two might really fall for each other one day, comment down below, #Mackenzie. Friends. Bluey's other friends will also get some spotlight in this episode. Since so much time will have passed, they'll all look quite different and will have their own dates for the dance. Some going just as friends to have fun, while others will actually be crushing on each other. Rusty and Indy, for example, have a pretty big chance of being totally smitten. They already have a really sweet friendship in the show, but that bond could easily grow into something deeper. In the episode Mums and Dads, they play pretend as a mom and dad taking care of a baby. It's an innocent game, but could it also be a hint from the show that they might become a couple someday? That little spark might start in this episode, and then grow more and more in the seasons to come. Another pair going to the dance together is Snickers and Coco. Their situation is a bit more uncertain. They could show up as an actual couple or simply as good friends. It's easy to imagine them falling for each other, especially since they've played together since they were babies. But it's also totally believable to see them as two best friends who decide to dance together so neither of them has to go alone. Jack and Honey will probably go together too, but we're almost certain those two won't be romantically interested in each other. It's important for the series to show that not every preteen ends up dating someone, and that they can stay just friends. Jack might eventually fall for someone, but he seems like the type who would take a little longer to find the perfect girl. Honey, meanwhile, seems like the kind of girl who likes to focus on other things, while still having a personality that aligns with Jack's just enough for the two of them to become great friends. The invitation. When the dance is getting really close, Mackenzie will finally gather the courage to ask Bluey to go with him. And how would he do that, you ask? We're betting Mackenzie will plan this for a long time and do something really special, taking Bluey to meet him in the same place beach where the two of them played together in the episode Barky Boats. After all, Mackenzie now understands what Calypso meant when she spoke to him and his friend that day. But Mackenzie won't make the invitation right away. Instead, he'll build up courage little by little. In the meantime, he and Bluey will play like they always have, and they'll chat about all sorts of things. Only after a long while will the Border Collie finally work up the nerve to ask her. But do you really think the writers of Bluey would let that moment happen so easily? Not a chance. In romance stories, especially teen romance stories, moments like this are almost always interrupted by someone else. But who could possibly get in the way at such a crucial time? Probably someone completely unexpected. A certain Canadian Labrador that Bluey fans absolutely love. Jean-Luc. Yep, Jean-Luc has plenty of reasons to show up in this episode and interrupt Mackenzie. In fact, we believe he'll return in Season 5 way before the prom episode actually happens. The episode Camping, in which he becomes friends with Bluey only to return to Canada soon after, ended with a future scene showing an older version of Bluey meeting Jean-Luc again, now speaking the same language as her. Since the blue pup could already be about 13 years old during Season 5, that scene likely takes place around that time. Marked by those unforgettable vacation days from years ago, Jean-Luc would come back to Australia hoping to see his friend Bluey again, having learned her language over all those years. From there, it makes perfect sense for Jean-Luc to start studying in the same class as Bluey. This is an opportunity the studio behind the show definitely wouldn't miss, since a huge part of the fandom fell in love with the Canadian Labrador after seeing him in just one episode. Now imagine the fans' reaction if Jean-Luc actually developed a crush on Bluey. This is a theory many fans share. There are endless debates online about whether the blue pup will end up with Jean-Luc or with Mackenzie. Her daughter, who appears in the episode Surprise, even reflects those debates, because she has features of both a Border Collie and a Labrador. So it makes perfect sense to bring this love triangle into Season 5 when the characters are finally old enough for romantic feelings to be part of their lives. So after interrupting Mackenzie before he can ask Bluey to the dance, Jean-Luc himself would invite her to be his date for the event. The Border Collie would be left speechless, and fans who root for him would definitely be furious with Jean-Luc. But after preparing himself for so long, Mackenzie wouldn't just let that slide. After the Canadian pup gives his invitation, Mackenzie would also tell Bluey how he feels and invite her to the dance, leaving the blue pup with an extremely difficult choice to make. You know what would be awesome? Subscribing right now and getting all our videos straight on YouTube. Bingo. Bluey won't be able to make that decision so quickly, so both boys will have to wait for an answer. Having to think about all that will make her really nervous, since she doesn't know what she feels. Bluey was probably developing a special crush on Mackenzie, but Jean-Luc's arrival must have left her confused. Who knows? She may actually be starting to like both of them. This conflict happening inside Bluey's mind will even affect her relationship with Bingo, who, being 2 years younger, still won't be thinking about any romantic topics. The youngest healer will continue being the energetic little pup she's always been, way more interested in playing than in anything else. But Bluey won't have as much time or desire to play with her anymore, which will only get worse because of the decision she'll have to make. It's funny how the blue pup went from having absolutely no option of who to take to the dance to suddenly having two. Poor Bingo will end up feeling really hurt by her older sister, which might even cause the two of them to argue. That's when Chilli will finally find out what's going on with Bluey. Chilli's advice. Chilli, being a wise mom, has probably gone through a situation similar to Bluey's when she was around the same age, so we imagine she'll know exactly how to guide her oldest daughter through this. Bluey will have 1,000 questions for her mother, but Chilli's answer will be much simpler than expected. Our guess? Chilli will simply tell her to choose the person she wants to have fun with that night, because in the end, that's what a graduation dance is really about. That's the moment when Bluey will realize she's not choosing who she's going to marry or anything like that, especially because she still has a long road ahead of her. Her mom only met Bandit as an adult. Sure, he says the two interacted as kids in Fairy Tale, but they only actually talked for real many years later. So Bluey should treat the whole thing for what it truly is, just a dance, the decision. So what would Bluey's decision be? It could be either one of them, but in the end, we think it makes much more sense for her to choose Mackenzie. They've had far more time to build a bond than Bluey ever had with Jean-Luc, so her feelings for Mackenzie are probably much stronger. Of course, the two of them will end up treating the whole thing as just a dance once the nerves settle, and they'll have a great time together. Jean-Luc, meanwhile, will end up going with another classmate, but we're betting he'll still have fun alongside Bluey and Mackenzie as well. We've prepared 2 videos you're going to love. Pick one and keep having fun here with teen videos.